My girlfriend said, "Ugh, you're literally the last person I'd ever marry during our 5-year anniversary dinner." I said thanks for the clarity. When she opened the velvet box I left on the table, it wasn't what she expected. I, 28, male, sat across from Natalie at our favorite steakhouse, watching her scroll through her phone while our $200 anniversary dinner got cold. 5 years together and she couldn't look up from Instagram for 5 minutes. "Could you put that away? It's our anniversary." She sighed like I'd asked her to solve world hunger. "God, you're so needy sometimes." The waiter brought champagne. I'd ordered the good stuff. Not the $500 bottle, but the 2120. My friend Astrid's boyfriend got her crystal all for their 3-year anniversary. I watched her compare our night to everyone else's on social media. Then she said it just dropped it casual as hell while double tapping someone's yacht photo. Honestly, Blake would never take me somewhere so basic. That's why he's marriage material. And you're literally the last person I'd ever marry. Blake, her work friend who kept popping up in conversations lately. "Thanks for the clarity," I said, pulling out the velvet box I'd been carrying for 2 months. Her eyes went wide. Phone hit the table. "Oh my God, Derek. I didn't mean open it, baby. I was just talking. You know I say things when I'm hangry. Open the box." Her hand shook as she opened it. The confusion on her face when she saw what was inside. Priceless. A car key. Not just any key. The key to the BMW she'd been driving for 2 years. The one I bought. The one in my name. The one she told everyone was hers. "I don't understand," she whispered. "It's pretty simple. You want Blake? Cool. But you'll be taking the bus to see him." "This is about what I said, Derek." I was joking. "Nah, you were honest." Probably for the first time in months. I stood up, dropped 200s on the table. "Dinner's covered. Uber's on you though. You can't take my car." "Your car. Check the registration. Check who pays the insurance. Check whose credit took the hit for that loan." She started crying. Not sad tears, angry ones. "Where am I supposed to go? Blake's marriage material. Right? I'm sure he's got a nice place." The best part, I'd already moved her stuff out that afternoon, while she was getting her nails done for our special night. Everything she owned was in boxes in the parking garage. The movers I hired were super efficient. "You planned this," she hissed. "Actually, I planned a proposal. Had a whole thing, photographer hiding in the corner. Your favorite flowers being delivered to the table. Even got your ring size from your sister." Her face went pale. "You were going to propose" was past tense. Until Astrid sent me some interesting screenshots yesterday. See Natalie's friend Astrid. She's good people. When Natalie started bragging in their group chat about juggling me and Blake, talking about how she was waiting to see who'd propose first before choosing, Astrid thought I deserved to know. The screenshots were illuminating. 5 months of Natalie playing both sides, using my credit cards for dates with Blake, telling him she was in an abusive situation. She couldn't leave. Astrid's a lying bitch. Astrid included timestamps and photos. Not, "You taking selfies in Blake's bed while I was at work isn't exactly ambiguous." She grabbed for her phone. I was faster. "What are you doing?" "Making sure you don't drive my car anywhere." I opened the app for the GPS tracker I'd installed last week. Enabled the speed limiter and geo once. It'll still run but only up to 15 mph. And only within a mile of this restaurant. Should be enough to get it to the parking garage where your stuff is. That's psycho behavior. Is it? Or is it protecting my asset from someone who just admitted they're using me? The restaurant manager approached. We were making a scene. I apologized. Said we were leaving. Natalie grabbed my arm in the parking lot. "Derek, please let's talk about this. 5 years. 5 years of what exactly? Me paying for your lifestyle while you shop for upgrades. I love you. You love my credit score. There's a difference. I got in my car. My actual car. Not the BMW. As I drove away, I saw her in the rear view, standing in the parking lot in her $400 dress that I bought, screaming into her phone, probably calling Blake. Good luck with that, Blake. Your marriage material just became your problem. Update 1. Y'all were right about the extinction burst thing. Natalie went nuclear. First she tried to report the car stolen. Bold move. The cops called me at 6:00 a.m. Sir, someone reported your BMW stolen. Not stolen. My ex adducing it with permission, which I've now revoked. She knows where to return it. She says she's the owner. Registration and insurance are in my name. Want me to send copies? They dropped it fast. Then came the family assault. Her mom called crying about how I was leaving her daughter stranded and vulnerable. Her dad threatened to sue me for emotional damages. Her sister Kimberly, the one who helped me get the ring size, just texted, "Lol, she's mad. Good luck, bro." But the real entitlement came when Natalie showed up at my office with Blake. Yeah, she brought her side piece to my workplace. Blake was exactly what you'd expect. Probably 6'2", good-looking in that generic finance bro way, wearing a suit that screamed daddy's money. They cornered me in the lobby. "We need to talk," Blake announced like we were old buddies. "We really don't. You're being childish." Natalie jumped in, ending a 5-year relationship over one comment. "Should I pull up the screenshots where you called me temporarily useful, or where you said Blake's trust fund made him husband goals?" Blake's face changed. "Trust fund? I don't have a trust fund." Oh, this was beautiful. "No trust fund. But Nat told her group chat you were loaded, said your family owned that development company downtown." "My family owns a food truck." Natalie went white. "Blake, I can explain. A food truck." I couldn't help it. I laughed. "She's been playing you too, my guy." Blake looked at Natalie like he was seeing her for the first time. "You said Derek was abusive. That you couldn't leave because he controlled your money. I mean, he is controlling. Look what he's doing with the car. The car I paid for." I pulled up my banking app. "Want to see the payment history? Or should we talk about the credit cards I canceled yesterday?" That's right. I'd finally canceled the supplementary cards. She'd maxed out 3 of them. On what? Turns out dates with Blake and gifts for herself that she told him were from her successful marketing job. "You don't have a marketing job." Blake's voice was climbing. "You said you were a direct I'm in marketing." She protested. "I do social media. You sell weight loss tea on Instagram." I clarified to your 3,000 bot followers. Blake walked out. Just turned and left. Natalie tried to follow, but security stopped her. Apparently screaming in the lobby gets you banned from the building. She waited outside for 3 hours. Sent me 97 texts ranging from "please talk to me" to "I'll ruin your life" to "I know you still love me." I didn't respond, but I did something better. Remember that photographer I'd hired for the proposal? Turns out he has a no refund policy, so I used the session anyway. Got professional photos taken of me, returning all the jewelry I'd bought her over the years. The tennis bracelet, the earrings, that Tiffany necklace she lost. Saw it in Blake's apartment in one of her selfies. The pawn shop gave me $3,800 for everything. Not bad for stuff she'd cherished forever. But here's where it gets really good. That BMW. She still hadn't returned it. The geofence was driving her crazy. She could only go in circles around the restaurant. She'd been sleeping in it for 2 nights because plot twist. Her parents wouldn't take her back. Why? Because good old Kimberly spilled everything. Turns out this wasn't Natalie's first rodeo. She'd done this to her college boyfriend and her last ex. Her parents had bailed her out both times. Paid off the debts she'd racked up. Smoothed things over. Her dad called me again, but this time to apologize. "We enabled this. I'm sorry you got caught in her mess." "Thanks, Mr. Holloway. Did you really hire movers to pack her things? Every last item, even labeled the boxes." "Good man. Don't take her back. Not a chance. And son, change your locks." She made copies. I'd already changed them, but the warning was appreciated. Update 2. Natalie finally returned the car, but not before one last show of entitlement that honestly impressed me with its audacity. She hired a lawyer, some ambulance chaser, who sent me a letter demanding the car title transferred to her name, 6 months of transitional support, compensation for domestic labor. She cooked twice in 5 years, $10,000 for defamation, telling the truth. Apparently the engagement ring she was promised. My lawyer's response was basically, "Lol, no, and here's a bill for making me read this nonsense." But Natalie wasn't done. She started a GoFundMe, help me escape financial abuse. Her story painted me as a controlling monster who left her homeless and penniless after years of isolation. She raised $50 in 3 days. 2 donations, both from accounts she clearly made herself. Anonymous supporter and justice warrior. The comment section roasted her though. Girl, you were on Instagram How were you isolated? Didn't you pose about your amazing boyfriend buying you a car last year? This the same Derek you called temporarily useful screenshots. Are forever sis. She deleted it after someone posted the full screenshot collection from Astra. Then came the really pathetic move. She reached out to my ex Rachel trying to build some kind of survivors club. Rachel screenshotted everything and sent it to me with crying laughing emojis. She really thought I'd bond with her over you being toxic. Bro, we broke up because I moved for work. We still send each other memes. She's delusional. The final straw came when Natalie tried to get back with Blake. She showed up at his food truck. Yeah. She stalked him to his family's taco truck. With a whole sob story about how I'd manipulated her, poisoned Blake against her and ruined her life. Blake's dad threw salsa at her. Not hot salsa, but still the disrespect. Blake texted me later. Thanks for the heads up. Dodged a bullet. Want a free taco? I took him up on it. Good tacos. We're not friends or anything, but there's a weird mutual respect. Both of us got played, but at least he only lost a month to her BS. I lost 5 years and a credit score hit. But the best revenge. I didn't have to do anything. Natalie's own entitlement took her down. Last I heard from Kimberly, Natalie's living with a cousin who charges her rent. She's working at a call center. Karma for all those hours on her phone. Blake blocked her on everything. Her Instagram business tanked after the screenshots went viral in her MLM community. She's dating some new guy who thinks she's been through so much. Poor bastard. Final update closure came in the weirdest way. I was at the gym. Yeah. I'm that guy. Breakup gains are real when Natalie walked in with her new boyfriend. Dude looked like he'd stepped out of a how-to. Spot a sugar daddy wiki. Mid-50s wedding ring tan line still visible. Shirt unbuttoned. 1 button too many. She saw me and froze. Then, because she's Natalie, she sauntered over with him. Derek. So good to see you thriving. Fake smile plastered on. This is Richard. Richard. This is my ex. I told you about. Richard extended his hand. The abusive one? I laughed, couldn't help it. The financially abusive one who paid for her entire life. Yeah. That's me. Derek's just bitter. Natalie cooped. I'm in a much better place now. Congrats. Hey Richard. Quick question. She tell you about Blake yet? Richard's face tightened. Who's Blake? Nobody. Natalie grabbed his arm. Just someone Derek made up to break us up. I pulled out my phone. Still had Blake's contact from the taco truck incident. Called him right there. Blake? Yeah. It's Derek. You're on speaker. Quick question. Did Natalie date both of us at the same time? Yo. Derek. Yeah. For like 5 months. What? She's here with some new guys saying you don't exist, bro. Tell him to run. Also, we're doing a 2-for-1 special on fish tacos today. Thanks, man. I hung up and looked at Richard. Good luck, my dude. Richard walked out. Natalie tried to follow, but he was already in his Mercedes peeling out. She turned on me full banshee mode. Why do you keep ruining my life? I don't. You do. I just refuse to lie for you anymore. I gave you 5 years. You took 5 years. There's a difference. The gym staff asked her to leave. As she stormed out, she yelled, I was going to marry you. No. I called back. You were going to marry whoever proposed first with the biggest ring. I was just the safest bet until Blake showed up. She flipped me off. Classy to the end. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then Richard apparently Googled her and found this Reddit thread. What's up, Rich? She's been bouncing between dating apps with increasingly creative backstories. Kimberly says she's now claiming to be a cryptocurrency consultant. Her parents still won't talk to her. She DM'd Rachel again trying to bond over me. Rachel sent me the messages. She offered to be my business mentor. I'm a doctor. What business could she possibly mentor me in? As for me, I'm good. Better than good. Debt's going down without her spending. Signed up for cooking classes since I never learned she couldn't cook either. Despite claiming credit for domestic labor, even went on a few dates. Nothing serious yet. But it's nice dating women who can put their phones down during dinner. The engagement ring. Returned it last week.
Manager remembered me. Gave me a sympathy discount on a nice watch for myself instead. First thing I've bought just for me in years. Natalie still texts sometimes. Random numbers. Fake social media accounts. Always the same thing. How she's winning now. How I'll regret losing her. How her new guy is better. I don't respond. But I did keep the screenshots. You know, just in case the next guy needs a warning. Funny thing about clarity. Once you have it, you can't unsee what was always there. Natalie told me I was the last person she'd marry. Turns out that was the first honest thing she'd said in years. And honestly, I'm grateful. Better to find out at a steakhouse than at the altar. Edit. Since some of you asked. Yes, the taco truck is bomb. Blake's family does this amazing al pastor. Hit up Tourist Tacos if you're in the area. Tell them the financially abusive ex sent you. They think that story is hilarious now.